Young people, welcome back. BMB in the house. You guys know how we do. Chapter 5, Lesson 5. The learning objective for this handout, guys, for what we're doing today, solve and graph absolute value inequalities less than. And the second one they have listed here, solve and graph absolute value inequalities greater than. All right. So students will be able to swap back, solve, and graph absolute value inequalities. Concept, absolute value. Skill, we're going to graph and solve. So we got two skills going on, guys. Let's get this bad boy started. All right, guys. Nice looking handout, but let's get it out of here. Top portion, that's a little big for the title, but looks like it fits. Match each open sentence with the graph of its solution set. So similar to what we've been doing in this chapter, guys, we have number lines to work out our solutions. So number one, the absolute value of x is greater than 2. Knowing that whatever's inside that absolute value has to be positive 2 when simplified or negative 2 when simplified, but there's nothing to simplify. So the x has to be either 2 or the x has to be negative 2. Those are the only two values that I can put inside of that absolute value that's going to make that statement true. So taking away the equal sign because it's not an equation. So I'm still just going to go ahead and keep it at, x is greater than 2 and x is less than or equal to negative 2. And guys, flipping our sign. If you watched our earlier videos, you understand that flipping the sign is critical when multiplying or dividing by negative. And when we're doing these absolute values, it's just as important. So number 2, as you can see me moving on, I'm setting up what I know will be my 2. And this is something we're going to be working on throughout. There's a reverse technique for this, guys. But for the way the BMB is knocking it out, I'm just doing what I know. I'm going to go ahead and set up my first one. What's inside has to be less than or equal to 3. Or what's inside is going to come out as a negative 3. Now, the inequality right there, equal, right? But I'm okay. Plus 2, x is less than or equal to 5. Is that even on there? I see it. I found it. You guys see it? I found it. I'm doing it right. And add 2 to one side, the other side, boom, boom, pow, negative 1. So now I'm looking for the inequality that's going to start on 5, have a closed circle, and go to the left. And also I'm looking for the inequality graph that starts at negative 1, closed circle going to the right. Do you see it? Do you see it? See it? And of course for number 1, same thing, open circle to the right, closed circle to the left, starting at 2. But for number 3, guys, here we go. What's inside of my absolute value will be less than 4. And remember that what's inside can be negative. It's going to come out as positive. So that's why we're going ahead and flipping the sign, getting it as a greater than, and writing it as negative 4, and then going ahead and solving our one step. So guys, what's happening in these first 3 is actually what's going to be happening as we work throughout this whole handout. It's matching though. So think about it in terms of, I always tell the students, multiple choice, the answer's right in front of you. Free response, you better show what you know. So I'm showing what I know with 1, 2, and 3. Hopefully you know it too. You got it. Boom, bang, pow. So did all that. Hopefully you're showing some work too. Otherwise, you're just giving me some answers, right? And first one, we figured out x is greater than 2 and x is less than or equal to negative 2. Do you find that solution graphed at A, B, or C? Well, it looks like greater than 2, or maybe a little bit higher right there, and less than 2. And remember the open circles because it's not equal to. Next one, we use green, we're gonna use blue. We used blue earlier to show the inverse operation. Looking for it to begin on 5 and be less than because it's pointing to the left. Closed circle, and beginning at negative 1, greater than, going to the right. And if you are new to my videos, I hear bells all the time. It's be going off in my head. One day I'm not going to be a teacher and I'm still going to hear bells. But you're still here and you're still with me. So guys, last one in this top section. Open circle starting at 3, going to the left. Open circle at negative 5, open circle at negative 5, going to the right. Boom, bang, pow, BCA. Let's get it out of here. Whatever way you want to go. Let's go. All right, guys, second portion of this handout. What do we got? Got a lot of words. I'm not scared, neither are you. That's why you're here. Express each statement using an inequality involving absolute value. So right now, guys, let's take a pause. And the reason why we're gonna take a pause is because starting from chapter 1, lesson 1, I stated, and if you didn't watch that video, go watch it. I look real nice. I got this beard. Looks good. You're going to take the words that we are reading and transform them into a math problem. And this math problem is going to have absolute value. So this is the first time we're actually writing absolute value as a math problem, but just hang with me and know that I'm going to go through these three, but this is where POC, point of confusion. In the comments, sure, but in your classroom, even if it's a Zoom classroom, those dedicated students take the time to be like, hey, I don't really get it. I might have did it, but I might need a little bit more. So guys, let's go through it, understanding that, remember, absolute value is talking about a range, right? So as we read these answers, understand that it can be a positive 3 or it can be a negative 3 inside the absolute value because it's going to come out positive. Right? So starting back up, putting my pen down. Within three, guys, the weatherman predicted that the temperature would be within 3 of 52 degrees. So since it's within 3, that means I have a range of going a little bit higher than 3. I mean, a little bit higher. 1, 2, 3. It's going to be within 3. So that's where that minus 3 comes from. That's it. The absolute value of a number minus 3 because it's within 3. And here, guys, less than or equal to, should be 52. This is where my man, the other half of the greatest in the world, is going to make a comment. It's okay, Swirl. Bring it on. I'll read it in the comments. But number 5 here, as I'm working on x minus 9 d2. There we go. Because the average is 92. So in number 4, guys, I swapped my values. That 3 shouldn't be there. I did it twice, but if you watch my videos, you know I'm human. These mistakes are going to come, and we're not done. Put that bell is good. Here we go. So number 5, within 8 points. So that's where you got that absolute value. X minus 92 is less than or equal to 8. So for 6, again, the absolute value within 25, and understanding that since it's 87 students, it's within, boom, boom, bang, set them up. So guys, that's what I meant when I gave the pause of, there's one thing to be able to answer the problem, it's another one to write it. Completely different skill. The skill I just used right there was to write the absolute value inequality equation. That's what skill we just did. Now we solve it, right? So with that said, that's why it's gone. Because I'm focusing on your ability to solve and graph these, whereas those last 3 was your ability to write them. So there's a lot to learn in algebra, guys. That's why you're here. We're going to take care of the whole textbook. And looking right at number 7, as you've been watching and I've been talking, I got no solution down there because x plus 1 less than 0. Watch when we come back to that one, guys. Now, number 8, though, where it's less than 1, this is that setup again. The way I like to tell my students is break down those walls. You've got absolute value walls. Now, you got to do 2 problems because it's an absolute value problem. The first one you need to do, break that wall down and set it up as a positive, just as it is. Don't change the inequality. C minus 3 is less than 1. Now, the second one you're going to do is, this would be scenario 2. That's why be, how they say it in your book. C minus 3, flip your sign, write it as a negative, is greater than negative 1. So, can 0 be positive or negative? No. 1, positive 1, and a negative 1 in 2 scenarios. Solve in one step, add 3 to both sides, C is less than 4. The other side over here, add 3 to both sides, C is going to be greater than 2. So again, graph both of those on the same number line to get your solution set. The values that will make this true for this absolute value. So what can C be? C can be less than 4, but greater than 2. And of course, guys, check. but it doesn't tell me to check. There's no check in those directions, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Now, definitely, guys, we got more to do. Remembering those two problems inside of the one. Clean that up. Let's get the next ones in. All right, guys, nothing new. It looks exactly the same. They changed my variable, they changed my inequality, they changed my constants. Number 9, the absolute value of n plus 2, absolute value closed. It's greater than or equal to 1. My brain automatically goes, 2 problems. Break down the wall, set it up. Keep it as it is. N plus 2 is greater than or equal to 1. Break down your second wall. And this is, guys, if we were in class, I say flip and change. They'd be like, what? Flip and change. What, Mr. Craft? Flip the sign, change it to a negative. And that's it. You get that in your brain and you've got this concept, you've got this skill down. It's just practice, practice, practice. Solving your one step, n now is greater than or equal to -1. Box and graph. We'll graph later. Second scenario, subtract 2 from both sides, making sure I'm careful with my integers. N is going to be less than or equal to -3. I've already made a mistake today, so we don't want to see too many more. And boom, pow. 3 questions. Where do you begin? Open or close circle, left or right. Well, I didn't go in that order, so open or close, good. Left or right, good. And where do you begin? Good. Let's get it on there. Well, we'll do it for both. Close circle for the second one, going to the left, starting at -3. All right. And again, guys, fast forward if you need to, rewind if you need to, but definitely let me know if there's something that I need to cover, because this is one of those lessons, like when we get to systems, will be coming up in the next chapter. Quadratics, absolutely, guys. So, number 10, absolute value open, t plus 6, absolute value closed is greater than 4. Again, demonstrating my ability to read the algebra problem. Setting up my first scenario where nothing changes. Setting up the second where I flip, t plus 6, flip and change. Flip the sign, flip the inequality, change the sign. Undo the adding of 6. And of course, looks like I'm getting a solution. T is going to be greater than -2. And for my second one, all right, come on. We're going to go ahead and keep my negative sign, so T is going to be less than -10. So again, guys, in my brain, I'm seeing that one of my lines is going to be open, starting at -2, going to the right. And I'm even getting lazier. I just put OR, or what? Or, you're not understanding. But O for open, R for right. L for left, O for open. Starting where? -2, -10, boom, bang, pow. You guys got it. All right, guys, I'm feeling good, but again, I always feel good when I'm here helping you guys out. So let's get this out of here, unless there's something else I need to point out or talk about. And I don't think there is. So I'm gonna get it out of here. Poof. Poof, poof, poof. All right, guys, getting to the last little bit, I believe. Let's get it on in here. No, we're not. We're doing the same thing. This will be one of those, can you handle it? So, checking for understanding, feel free to pause. Good, you're back. Now you get to see, did you do it the same way Mr. Craft did? Is B and B doing the same thing you are? W minus 2 is less than 2, and W minus 2 is greater than or equal to -2. Didn't show my walls getting broke down, just went right into it. Even later, I'm not even gonna write the word and, I'm just gonna draw a line down the middle. Repetition, 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 guys. These are basically one steps with a little bit of the, I don't know, curveball. I like curveballs. Hit them out the park. Actually, I don't do a lot of baseball, but I'm 6'8", man. All right, got it? Let's graph it. Open. +4 going to the left. You notice my brain told me they were going to connect. So by seeing it, made it quick, made it easy. Number 12, k minus 5. It's going to be less than or equal to 4. That will be my first scenario. Recognizing with the absolute value, I'm going to flip the sign and change the integer to its opposite. So k minus 5 is greater than or equal to -4. Take care of the one step, add 5 to both sides. And again, guys, you know how I do. I'm not showing it because we know it. K is less than or equal to 9, and K is going to be greater than or equal to, and please don't mess up on your integers, and it doesn't look like I did. So, one more time, guys. 3 questions, open or close. Left or right? Where do you begin? Oh, I'm so good. Let me show the work in the blue. Must be somebody screaming in my ear. Show your work. I don't need the hand, somebody screaming. Oh, okay. All right, guys, wrapping this up. Yep. Closed circle on 9, going to the left. Closed circle on the 1, going to the right. All right, guys. Again, if you are having any questions, comments, please put them in there, guys. Please like, please share. Share with anybody you know that has a young one that needs a little help with this algebra, because we all need a little help sometimes. Thanks for being here, guys. See you in the next video.